Hybrid shoes have been clowned on by people for a while, unless you are washed like me and remember the days when the Spizikes came out, and that was all the hype. People loved the Spizikes, but that may be more of an exception than a rule. But lately, Jordan Brand has been pushing out a bunch of hybrids on the latest Jordan Brand shoe, and this one that I have right here, just the way it looks, ooh, delicious. Air Jordan 4020, white and Varsity red. And the shoe originally dropped during NBA All-Star Weekend, so February 14th for $200. Super limited. All the hybrid Jordan 40 shoes have been very hard to get. I'm not really exactly sure why Jordan Brand is being this stingy and just not giving the people what they want. Because most of the hybrids that I've seen, the 4020, 4023, the 4018, all very nice looking shoes, but they almost want to rub it in your face that you don't get to get one of these. So I don't know what they're doing, but this dropped nearly a month, over a month now, and first impressions of the Jordan 4020, delicious. I love the shape and silhouette of this shoe. I have said in many videos, the Jordan 20 is one of my favorite Jordan Brand shoes ever, including from 1 to 14, the golden era of Jordan shoes. I just loved how it looked. Maybe it's part nostalgia, maybe it's the fact that I could never afford it growing up, but I just really want them to bring it back for good, like make it more available, because I love them. And the Jordan 40 also, I said in my review, one of the more beautiful and good looking silhouettes that Jordan Brand has pushed out recently. Probably the best in like a decade. And just in terms of how it looks, it is so simple, sleek, easy to wear. Combine the two with the nostalgia and the midfoot strap from the 20s. I just love how the shoe looks. It's probably my favorite hybrid right now for the Jordan 40s. What I don't love is Jordan Brand making these super hard to get for everyone. Now in terms of the box, you will get these for the Jordan 40s as well. It's like a pretty heavy and solid box with this metallic red or dark red Jumpman in the middle, but you'll see this little cutout here that also is in a 40-degree angle. And in terms of the materials, you will get that pant leather, so it's shiny, and it probably will crease it very ugly, but on the ankle area there, on the black part, that is just leather. And it's not often you get like genuine materials on basketball shoes nowadays, because synthetics usually does have some weight savings as well as durability advantages, but the Jordan 40 has made a point to come with like genuine materials, so it just feels really nice in hand, but it does feel slightly more heavy than like other shoes that you can get in 2026. Of course, you will get that midfoot strap that goes right over. That is from the Jordan 20, one of the most iconic, in my opinion, and most distinct things about the Jordan 20 is that midfoot strap. But the most iconic thing about the Jordan 20 was, of course, the laser print. So that kind of started the trend. You can see the 2K4s behind me. That actually utilizes the laser print as well. So you get a bunch of designs and graphics that is tied to Michael Jordan's career. So you see 5-time MVP, 6-time championship trophy. You'll see the last name Kilgore. That is a reference to Bruce Kilgore, who designed the Jordan 2. You'll see golf. You'll see 44. That is a reference to David Thompson, Michael Jordan's idol. He was the one that actually brought out MJ during his Hall of Fame induction. This is not the exact same laser print as the original Jordan 20s, but the idea is there. It is beautiful, and you will see the same type of design on the inner booty itself. Now moving up the tongue, you will just get one set of laces, and the lacing system here, it does utilize the Jordan 10 lacing system, and you will also see these years on the left and right shoe, so slightly different. So you'll get the important years of Michael Jordan's history. So you get 1981 to 82. That was when he joined the North Carolina Tar Heels. You get 1984. That was when he won Rookie of the Year. And when he joined the NBA, you'll get his championship ring years. You will get the Olympic years. So just subtle storytelling there. And I love it. And then right at the tongue, you'll get that Jumpman. And the tongue on the Jordan 40 is inspired by the Jordan 5, which obviously utilizes that 3M reflective material. For the shoe, it is just like nubuck. I couldn't really get it to be reflective, but on other Jordan 40s, definitely uses that same tongue. Now, because this is a hybrid shoe and there's this midfoot strap, there is not that usual ventilation strip that comes on a regular Jordan 40, taking inspiration from the Jordan 14s. But the ankle collar ventilation there, that is still here. That is taken from the Jordan 6. And then wrapping around to the booty of the shoe, you will get this very, very solid heel counter here. And that booty is taking inspiration from the Jordan 3 with the Nike Air, very subtly like behind that kind of mirror reflective material on the heel. I can't really get it to show up very clearly in video, but in person you can definitely see it under the right lighting. Otherwise, usually you'll just see a reflection of yourself, but under certain lighting you will see it. And then right at the bottom you will see ZoomX, and on the inner booty tab you will get 40. And one thing to note is all the branding for the Jordan 40 utilizes 40-degree angles, so that's why that's in this kind of funky shape. And then on the medial side of the midsole there, you will see Air Jordan 40, again, utilizing 40-degree angles. And that's not the last time you'll see that. And also, just like the Jordan 5s, the 13s and 14s, the 40s also utilizes this asymmetrical ankle collar. And in terms of the cushioning of the Jordan 4020, it utilizes the tech from the Jordan 40s, so very, very modern and updated design. So it does utilize full-length ZoomX foam, as well as a Zoom Strobel, full length again, just absolutely stacked. And according to Nike.com, the latest iteration of the ZoomX is actually the most softest, lightest, most responsive cushion they've ever come up with 85% energy return. Let's take their word for it. But the Zoom Strobel is delicious too. So usually for like traditional shoes, you'll have like Zoom Air, then a Strobel board, and then an insole. So there's some separation between your foot to the Zoom Air. So the Zoom Strobel basically gets rid of that traditional Strobel board, and the only thing separating your foot from Zoom Air and cushioning is the insole. And you'll see on the insole with the 40 branding, again in 40-degree angles, quality basketball products inspired by the greatest of all time. And that, of course, takes inspiration from the Jordan 12s as well as the 11s. So the idea is, the closer your foot is to cushioning, the more responsive you'll feel. And the cushioning on the Jordan 40, one of the best. Honestly, probably my favorite thing about this shoe. It is not super like soft or plush. I feel like the Jordan 39s was a bit softer. So if you're really into that, you might like it. But I like a little bit of firmness. Not too much, not like all 2000s Phylon midsoles where at my age, you press down hard, your knees and back just give out. But a little bit of firmness does help with like push off and explosion. And I feel like the Jordan 40 just comes with a really, really good balance. No complaints from me there. Now moving on to the outsole, you will see all 40-degree angles on this outsole with the Jumpman on top. And you will see that it actually extends onto the tip of the toe. That obviously taken from the Jordan 12. Right behind it, you will see these independent pods that is taken directly from the Jordan 20s. So back in the Jordan 20 era, the cushioning system was actually 10 pods on each shoe. So it was called the independent pod system, IPS for short. And the idea is each of those pods would have different density. Now I, unfortunately, have never owned a Jordan 20, so never played ball in them. So I can't comment on how that felt on court. But for this, as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't use those pods in this cushioning system. Cushioning does come from the Jordan 40, but the design is baked behind this traction. And in terms of just traction for this shoe, I think it's good. I don't think it's like elite. So usually for B-roll, for my videos, for a basketball shoe, I shoot it at a gym that is average at best for traction. So it's not the best, but it really does test if a shoe has like elite traction. So EQLZ 24/7, that felt good even in that gym. This felt okay, but nothing too outstanding. On a pretty clean or well-maintained gym, you should have absolutely no problem with the traction here. So I will say it is good, but I do think you can get better. Now in terms of playing outdoors, don't do it. First of all, super expensive shoe, and the rubber here is not like the most firm and kind of strong type of rubber. So you're gonna wear that thing thin really, really quickly. Now in terms of support, one thing that Jordan brand seems to just love to not do is not to put a shank plate in their late shoes. So like the Jordan 39s didn't have a shank, the Jordan 40 also doesn't have a shank, but what it does have are these rubber sidewalls here. It is very solid. You do not feel like there's no lockdown in this shoe. The heel counter support is also super solid, so it really does feel very stable. For me, for my foot, the way I play, this is one of the most stable and supportive shoes that I've worn for a long time. So in terms of rigidity, it just does not really twist and bend very easily, which is what you want. And if you see here, it actually has a decently wide base, not super aggressive outrigger, but the base is pretty wide. That increases stability. I'm going to move on to sizing and comfort. The Jordan 40, I have tried going true to size, up half a size as well. Both just destroy my big fat wide flat feet. If you do have wide feet, these shoes long term probably are not going to do it. I had the blue suede colorway, both in true to size as well as going up half a size. Played in them for a while. I just could not get over the pain that the forefoot area caused my foot. It is just so tight, and at some point after playing long enough, it actually starts to get sore. There's no way around it, and I'm not going up a full size because that'll just leave a bit too much wiggle room lengthwise. It'll get some heel slippage. So even going up half a size, I felt like my toes were getting strangled. And I gave a lot of time for the shoe. I was hoping somehow the 40-20 would be better size-wise. I went up half a size for these, same thing. Just choking the toe box area. And that is the biggest shame about the Jordan 40s as well as this shoe. I love everything or nearly everything about it, but that one big flaw in terms of sizing, flaw for me anyway, because I'm a wide footer, I can't get around it. And I think I've heard even people that don't have wide feet struggle with how narrow that forefoot toe box area is. And honestly, at this point, I don't have a great recommendation. Now, in terms of weight, this is slightly heavier than modern day 2026 shoes. Obviously, the materials add a bit of weight, so it's not super light. If that is your number one priority, the Jordan 40 probably isn't it for you. As someone that grew up in the kind of 2000s is when I started really taking ball more seriously, this type of weight isn't really an issue. We had the big fat LeBron 4s come out. That was what people were wearing, and that was not a light shoe. Now, in terms of court feel, definitely not the lowest kind of profile feeling shoe that you're gonna get. I think the Kobe 9 EMs that I reviewed last year, that felt super low. Sabrina 2s feels lower than this. There's a bit of cushioning on these, even though you are closer to the Zoom cushioning because of that Zoom strobel. So it's not really a deal breaker. But if you want something that's super close to the ground, Jordan 40 or the 40-20, probably not the one for you. And today's throwback of the day, this makes sense for this video. It is the 2005 OG colorway of the Air Jordan 20 white and varsity red. Look and just soak in how beautiful this shoe is. I don't care if you disagree because I just love the 20s, love this colorway. Look what the laser print did for that era, for the early 2000s. It came with the nubuck on the heel, came with the nubuck on the toe. Of course, that midfoot strap, the IPS system on the outsole. Jordan Brand, I beg and plead, bring all the 20s back. Now, usually for performance sneakers, I don't give it a sole score. The metrics don't really cross over, but I do have a final verdict of this shoe. Love everything but the sizing. It's just too tight in the toe area for my wide feet to just be acceptable. True to size, going up half a size, both do not work. I can't get it to feel comfortable. I'm not going up a whole size because too much wiggle room lengthwise. I can't play ball in that. But if you get the sizing right and you don't mind it, cushioning wise, one of the best that I felt in recent memory. Traction, I think it's really good. I don't think it's elite, but good in 90% of gyms that are at least well maintained or decently maintained, and support wise, very, very solid too. A real shame, real shame. Because I think Jordan Brand did a great job with the Jordan 40s overall. Same with this shoe, beautiful looking shoe, but the sizing, just. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Sole Inclined. Let me know what you think of the Air Jordan 40-20 white and varsity red. Like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. And remember, tomorrow may never come, so wear your shoes